Hello, hello. Welcome to the stream. Hey, Mantis. Moin, Lenny. Brrr. Es gab schon einen Wookie-Sound. Gute. Herzlich willkommen. Hey, Cold Hand Miniatures. Special welcome to you. Twitch is telling me you're a first-time streamer, first-time chatter. Beste Grüße nach Wien zurück. Cold Hand, bist du am Workshop dabei? Ich komme nach Wien. And you guess my tea today. Look at that. Look at that beautiful color. Nom, 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 nom. Hey, Pucci. Anzeige ist raus. Alter, Leute, die Farbe. Guckt euch das doch mal an. Das ist doch jenseits von Gut und Böse. Guckt euch das doch mal an. Blutorangen. Hagebutte. Heute sind die Leute richtig frech. Ey, Cold Hand, dann ergreife die Chance. Ich gebe 2 Kurse, OSL und einen Farbworkshop, wie man Farben mischt. Was getting hair up? Hello. Ben, are you back at home again? Oh, I'm opening up the window. I'm 2 minutes late because Ben just left. We were sitting together, doing a little bit of hobby time. And today, I have brought you these models. Today, I want to paint these models. As you can guess, they are part of the big Genestealer project. Kein Ben-Stream. Ben ist nach Hause und sein Good Boyfriend und kocht mit seiner Freundin. Ja. Waren gute Karten im Booster. Oh, wenn da schon so gefragt wird, dann hole ich die mal. Hey, Arambe! Look at that. We're continuing with the Genestealer project. And actually, let me go and get some of the magic cards that I pulled. And Tobi macht Arbeitszeitbetrug. And I can spoiler what I have painted during the week. So, this is the progress of what I have been able to paint. I'm very, very happy with the Lictor. It's such a cool model. The sculpt is just yummy. I'm a huge fan of these claws. Just a cool model. And this one is recorded, so this one's also coming as a tutorial. He is really cool. And since I got asked about my pulls on the weekend, we did a commander draft and I pulled Choco in the second pack. So I could actually fully draft into Choco, and I just got all the good cards for Choco. Okay, these are just basics. But I did some really good pulls. Look at that. I think this is like a 30 or 40 euros card, and probably more important than the commander. This was a really good pull. I got some of the alternative artworks for the good sagas. I love Summon Fat Chocobo. It's just really cute. Then the side quest, Raise a Chocobo. Got this alternative artwork for Farseek. Where do you buy the English boosters? Oh, I just buy them online. I rarely buy German cards. Also a bird. Those are some. We also had some Strixhaven boosters, and I'm a huge fan of the Mystical Archive. So I also put some of those cards into the deck. Here, Bart's Brainstorm, also really cool. Here's the other one, the other saga. I don't think it's that strong with the just +1. I wish it would say Trample on here. Then Chocobo Racetrack, absolutely MVP. Lukas, haben Sie die 11. Edi-Box? I still don't have the Armageddon box. I was asked by Games Workshop. I immediately said yes, but I still don't have it. I would have loved, like the orcs that I prepared. My actual plan was to do some of the mushroom orcs with the 11th edition orcs, but I never got the box. I don't know. Games Workshop is sometimes really terrible with the distribution. Everyone has the box, but I don't have it. So I want to share it with Ben, because he wants the Blood Angels and I want the Orcs. So yeah, let's see. Hey, Tour! Is that the Tour? What I'm thinking? There's only one Tour. In any case, well, special welcome to the stream. Since you're a first-time chatter, it is indeed. Well then, this makes me very, very happy. It was lovely meeting you in Monte. And for everyone in the chat, go check out Tua's work. Tua is a powerhouse of creativity and a huge inspiration. Maybe you guys remember after I returned from Monte, I always went like, oh, this was my favorite piece. I had such a good time looking and observing the piece, and it was the piece from Tour. It's really cool that you're here, man. Are you coming to some of the shows this year? I assume Golden Demon's not your cup of tea, but probably Monte, huh? Hey, Wolf! Welcome to the stream. Good to see you. Nice. Your own workshop. That's my big dream. I wish I'm actively looking for locations. I would love to have a workshop to actually expand like these 2 meters and 3 meters in this direction. This is where everything is happening. So yeah, this is my big dream, to have a larger place, to to also have space for all the sprues. I just had a really good time with Ben when he was here. If you're curious, I can show you. I have to zoom out a little bit because at the moment I have a cool, fun private project. I'll just give you a little sneak peek. So I've been, when Jason was here, Valbjörn was here, we had some nice hobby time together, and we were looking at the Maschinenkrieger kits a lot. And I just assembled this one really roughly. I need to do a lot of gap filling and sanding and that. But I think this is one of the coolest shapes and well-designed forms. It's absolutely fantastic. And as you guys remember, maybe, I always say there are no submarines from Games Workshop. So I'm planning to do this as a submarine because I think the round shapes really fit an aquatic theme. And we were just having a really good time because I have a huge box with bits and leftover things, and it was just fun to like hold them, play around, experiment, and see like where these weapons could go. It's a little bit of a hit and miss because obviously all of these weapons are designed for land combat, but yeah, this was just like putting these things next to, like, I want to do something back here, something like that. This was just a really fun thing to think about. So that's something that's happening on the sides, but let's put that on the side for today. We're running a community workshop for the Copenhagen paint crowd, and out weekly all hands days, Tuesdays. Nice. That sounds really good. That sounds really good. Yeah, I'd love a place where everyone meets up and there's a little bit of an exchange and people can hang out, hobby together, exchange ideas. I still want to do a dogma. I think I just have to organize it by myself and invite some people. Maybe we could do it. Ben knows the place. Maybe we can just do it there on this table. That's like since I have a little bit more space now that Leah moved out, I just claimed the entire living room, and it's now also a hobby room. I love Maschinenkrieger, especially love the history of the design. It's so versus meta. Oh yes, it's basically, I look at the shapes and it's so Soviet Cold War, and it's so dirtly. Some of them are just so dirtly and so whack, and sometimes this whack and dirtiness just hits the spot, and it's just like this sweet spot where it's just super interesting and surprising to look at. All right, let me actually get a painting handle. Ooh. I can't forget the ring. And also, because on the weekend I was with some friends in the magic cabin, and it was so good to to play some Magic with the boys. And again, we kind of have this thing of a very special audio of Thomas the train, but it's like bass boosted, so it's like insanely loud, and the audio is just on purpose really, really bad. And we usually do this, like we play this little video when something crazy happens. And I actually downloaded this song, and when the hype train is coming now, I still don't know what it is, but if it's coming, this Thomas the train bass boosted version will come. Before I start, I will actually keep the time track. Oh, this is new. This was the old one. Let's go. All right. I realized with the lictor that I painted that starting really with this bloody red is actually helping a lot to build up the layers. So that's something I really like with the color scheme, that it's like evolving. The more I paint, the better, more efficient and better looking the models are getting. And then I can start to transfer it to the rest of the project. But I haven't had this much fun with a commission in a long time. This is my favorite project at the moment. It's just so cool. Everything is assembled. Everything is planned out. All the models are here. Everything is primed and ready to go. So now I can just pick models for the stream and just jump into painting. That's fantastic. Hey, Corius! Schön dich zu sehen. Konstantin, guck mal hier. Cheers. I'm really excited about next week, Saturday in Erfurt. Ooh, nice. Yes, we will see each other. I have everything prepared for the workshop. The models are primed and ready. I actually updated my beginner's workshop presentation. So you will be the first ones to get the new slides and the improved version. I started doing handouts and little presentations for my workshops. So Erfurt will be the first beginner workshop with the little improvements. I think maybe you're missing the story of the machine kit kits. All the designs were originally kit bashed and they have been remade into new kits. I did not know that. No, thanks for telling me. If you grab the submarine miniature and look at the flippers from above, you can see the shape of the original Hewley helicopter. I did not know that. I love that you could tell that I didn't know the way I was talking about it. We were actually wondering, like when Jason was here, we were researching a little bit and tried to find out, because there's, it's, if I'm not mistaken, it's a Japanese manufacturer, but it's not like, there's not like one shop that has all of them, or one manufacturer's website where everything is listed. It seemed a little bit everything in secrecy. Was there ever an offer you turned down because it was too silly or stupid? Oh yes, 100%. I turn down commissions all the time. If my biggest fear of doing this full time is losing the joy in it, and that's why I'm very, very picky. If there's a commission where I'm like, usually it's chaos models because I'm not very much into that. But yeah, I'm even I think he is in the stream. Harambe, maybe he's still listening, but maybe he remembers, because he commissioned the guy who commissioned me with these first asked me to paint some blood angels, and I was like, I've just finished 6,000 or 7,000 points of blood angels. I'm not gonna do another blood angels project. And now I have these, and I have to say, I wasn't like, Genestealers are so cool. I wasn't really aware what's going on, because it's basically an army where you can play tanks and play lictors at the same time. It's absolutely wicked. Complete mayhem. Chaos is love. I have to disagree. I'm sorry. I like some of them. I like the lore. But most of the Games Workshop models from Chaos is just not my cup of tea. I like all the big models, but all the, like, let's say for example, Night Haunters, I think they're just silly with the weird Fledermaus stuff on the helmets. Death Guard is actually fine. I want to paint some Death Guard in the future. The red paint is a mix of multiple different things. So these are regular acrylics, but what I like to do, because they're very punchy, is actually take the speed paints and put some medium on it, and then I gently shift into the acrylics, because these are so highly saturated that you will actually see a jump in saturation when you use them purely. But I like to start with these and then paint on top, and then you have like high saturation in the shadows. It's something while testing that I really liked. Let's get into here now that there you go. Yeah, man, I'm enjoying these now a lot. I'm very happy that we changed from another Blood Angels project into the Genestealers, and I had like 2 months or 1 month of experiments and tests. And that was just fantastic. Exploring the shapes, testing different schemes, planning it, how to make it actually efficient for that many number of models. I'm really happy with the brass. Maybe you guys remember I showed last week some of the brass action on the vehicles, and that goes really well with the green bases and all that. So I'm just like, now it's just like all the preparations are done, and now it's just Autobahn. Chaos Demons I love. Fair enough. Punch plus medium. What's that? The color. That's just the name of the contrast paints from AK. AK calls them Quick Gen. Army Painter calls them Speed Paint. Games Workshop calls them Contrast. Whatever floats your boat. They all have one thing in common. They are really picky about their medium, and they are in general all rather highly saturated. What's special about the AK ones is that they have different intensities, and that they are drying extremely matte. Except when you mix them with water, they sometimes tend to go a little bit into the glossy direction, which I try to avoid. I'm doing the döner kebab again, just constantly turning and painting to not overthink in this stadium. About shows, we'll definitely see you in Italy. That's nice. I also plan to go to Monty again. Nothing planned in particular, but I think this year I will just go with my camper van, so that I'm independent of hotels and booking and all that type of stuff. What's going on here? Is this a mouth? I don't even know. But I'm not great with crowds or with noise, and at Spiel I will... It's a small slice of hell. Dude, I absolutely get it. I was so cooked after last Spiel, just because it's just a lot. There's so much going on. So I fully get it. I'm also like, I'm not a huge fan of Golden Demon as a concept. Like, usually I'm not that inspired by the stuff, since it feels, to me it feels like everyone's painting very safe to not make any mistakes. Absolutely fair. I'm not judging. It's just like my personal preference of models to look at. So the show itself is not that interesting for me, but I like to go because it's in Germany, and who knows, as soon as it's going to UK, I'm probably going to start skipping it, but until then I will continue to go. And this year I have something exciting planned with AK, so this year I will definitely go again. The döner kebab, that's right. Mr. Wolf, are you planning to camp too? Nice, we can be camping neighbors. Mr. Wolf, how was Contrast? I saw you on some pictures next to Layla. So you helped her out with being the sculptor neighbors. Looked like a really nice event. It's also one of the shows I'd like to go, but it's just for me, all the traveling is quite exhausting. This year it just didn't line up well with the, yeah, with all the stuff that's going on at the moment. My impression is that they are just also running a UK one, not keeping the Spiel, and rumor has it an Australian one too. Oh, that would be cool. I'd like a good excuse to go back to Australia. Actually, New Zealand is on my buckets list. Like I did a fair part of traveling in my life, and ever since I came back from all those adventures, now I'm really in the mood of just staying in my circle around me here. So since COVID, I have my camper, and since I have my camper, I just try to do all my vacations with the camper, and then I have like my radius around where I live, and there's so much to explore and so many places to see. So I don't really have to go anywhere very far away, which is something I like. But New Zealand is definitely one of those places where I'd love to visit New Zealand and do some hikes over there. That's one of the places where I could skip my rules. Contrast was amazing. I had a blast. Layla was kind enough to share her booth with me. Nice. Very nice. That sounds good. Yeah, Contrast and SMC are both shows that I would like to attend. But at the same time, in my head, SMC is like such a bust show. And in Monte last year, I realized there's little to... no emotion would be a harsh statement, but I'm not a huge fan of busts anymore, just for the sake of individuality. I like when people kit bash stuff and when people change stuff. I'm a huge fan of busts when it's a one piece, like for a single project. But last year in Monte, I just saw like the bust that Eric is using in his workshops. I think I saw it 18 times. After the second one, I was just like so full already that it was just like, oh, this one's in blue, this one's in red. It just, I don't know, it doesn't do anything for me. There's not going to be a workshop on the Spiel, but I will be doing a painting demo at the AK booth, and I think it's already fine to say, since I spoiled it a little bit already, there will be the release of the Chewy/AK painting set, which I'm really excited about, since I've been planning and working on it for a long time. And at Spiel there will be definitely the release and some copies, and I will explain why I've chosen which colors. And yes, it will be 18 times Dragon Blood. Thank you. Yes, I'm really happy with the AK guys. They've been just like treating me really well. I visited them once when I was on a holiday in Spain, and I feel like this personal contact was really good. And I just love the colors. I use the products anyway, so it's I'm not a huge fan of advertising, but I'm very happy to advertise the AK stuff, because I use it and it's my favorite paints. So that's cool that's going to happen. Sleepy Rhino, welcome to the stream, and special welcome to you since you're a first time chatter. Dragon Blood multi-pack. That's right. It's just going to be 10 times 10 times dragon blood, and the rest is going to be filled up with amethyst blue. I can give you a little spoiler. I think these might be my most used colors in the dark tones. Those are just in every project. I don't know. I'm not even doing it on purpose. Oh wait, my bot is telling me a message got deleted. That's interesting. Is your how to create a color scheme example Genestealer's generic? I'm looking to start a new AOS army which finally has to look good. However, I'm struggling to create a cool color scheme. Yeah, I tried to generate that PDF with the transferability back in my head, but obviously I couldn't make the guide for every existing army. But yes, I'm talking about general color composition, 60-30-10 rule, saturated versus desaturated tones, the distribution of colors, those type of things. So I'm fairly sure that you can take some information out of that also for your AOS project. It's my favorite topic to talk about, and I've just finished planning a workshop around this, and I will be giving the first workshop with the topic of with this scheme of like what I want the students to go out of the workshop and have like the plan for the rest of their army. And I'm very much looking forward to that. So we will be brainstorming cool ideas, interesting bases, new combinations, out of the box stuff. That's something I really like talking about. Ah, glad you like it. Omnicron, sounds cool. When will that workshop be? It's going to be in Munich in, I think, July. I'll have to check. All the next upcoming workshops are listed on my website. If you look for it, you'll find it. But yes, I'm a little bit excited because it's the first one of its kind, and usually there's a little bit of a learning also for myself, like how to make the workshops a little bit smoother. But I wanted to, like, I also want to start doing some workshops that are not the typical generic OSL non-metallic beginner workshop, but also the topics that are close to my heart and dear to myself. So I'm now starting to do this one, and then later on I want to do a little bit of what I used to do in my old job. So maybe there will be some graphic design workshops, corporate identity stuff, like how to plan, like the the whole topic of how to plan an army scheme is basically nothing else than planning a corporate design, in my opinion, because it's like you choose the colors, you define the colors, where they go. There are many parallels, so it's kind of similar, but I noticed that many people asked about those type of things, and since I had a fair amount of work experience in that field in my past, why not? Let's see. One step after the other. Okay. Now I want a little bit of orange close to the hands so that there's a little bit of a transition. Ich bin schon wieder raus für heute. Schönen Abend noch und viel Spaß. Schade, Pucci. Bis bald. Sounds awesome with the camper van philosophy, by the way. Plenty of stuff nearby, so why travel? Yeah, exactly. Like I've traveled a lot when I was a little bit younger, and I felt like it's kind of like a weird trend that you always have to go to Hawaii and to Canada, and those places are awesome, But I realized since I got my van that there are also many, many awesome places just around the corner. And one day I might get bored of those places, but I think that'll take a little while. And yes, Fen is one of those shows where I know I will like it. Just because I've been talking a little bit to the Fen people on the other shows, and the way they talk about the hobby and the way or the stuff they like is the stuff that I also like. So I'm actually planning to do a little bit of a UK tour next year to go and have a look. Maybe do it with some traveling, because I've never traveled the UK with a camper van, and I think in the southern part of UK there's actually a fair amount of really nice, beautiful landscapes. So I'd love to do a little bit of camper van action down there, and then a little bit of model shows, maybe some workshops. Who knows? That's going to be next year. Okay, I'll leave this there. There's so much signaling with those expensive travels. What do you mean with signaling? Like, sounds like a different word, like compensating. But I'm not trying to be judgy. It's like everyone can do whatever they want. It's just like for myself, it's just a lot cheaper, and I can get similar joy out of less extensive vacations. So why should I do it? That's at least my take. Usually for me, it's enough. I take my little travel backpack with some minis. For me, it's enough to be somewhere in the middle of the nature, have a filled fridge with me, enough electricity for a couple of days, and just be in the middle of nowhere, no humans, get up in a nice surrounding and just paint. That's pretty much all I need. And if there's no painting involved, then just hiking somewhere is also absolutely fine. And also camping and rain. Rain in general. I noticed, like, every time it's raining, I'm just like a little kid running to the window, listening, smelling, and looking outside. I'm such a rain fan. Waldfee Mara, welcome to the stream. Special welcome since you're a first-time chatter. Oh, I forgot the... Boop, boop. It's rarely about the joy of going to Hawaii. It's about showing others you can afford it. Oh, yes. Fair call. Now I get it. Yeah, true. It's just buy expensive golden luxury cashews. That's my vibe. That's just a really nice insider now, Ben. So you don't like humans generally? I wouldn't say so. I really enjoy groups and people I like. I'm just not a big fan when it's really loud and I can't actually participate. Like, if the group is too big and I actually can't participate in talking and it's just listening, that's usually something that's just weird to me. And I definitely need to recharge my social battery after a couple of days. But I wouldn't say I'm human shy. I enjoy hanging out with others. Good mix. Sometimes back into my goblin hole and little cave here, and sometimes all out action. Ooh, these guys actually have the between his legs, there's this little funny element that the others also have. Huh. A little bridge between the sculpts. It's funny. But that means that I will, for the sake of consistency throughout the army scheme, I will have to paint that. Not have to, but I will paint that in the same color and get that on the palette. I was just simply reacting to you talking about the wonders of going to other places and paint in your own cocon. Oh, you have no idea how often I say cocon. Cocon is such a fantastic word. I like to call, like when you go to bed and your legs are like this, I love big blankets because I always say you have to be able to build a cocon. Like the blanket needs to be able to go underneath your feet and then still go up here. And the regular blankets don't do that. I think that's a massive design fail. You just did a bullseye with cocon. Okay, what about this thing? This thing feels like it should be... Where's my brown? Pisa-Salz. Right! There's actually an IKEA blanket that has the extra size that you need. It's designed for two persons, but we all know it's a one person blanket. His second most frequent word is cacophony. No, that's not me, that's just Games Workshop books. I'm listening to Uriel Ventres at the moment, and cacophony was dropped twice today already. Cacophony, cacophony, cacophony. I'm very much with you though. Monte is good to me. SMC is right on the limit and I need regular breaks. Oh, and if you like the Fen feel, you'll enjoy contrast too. Nice. That's good to know. Hugely fluffy luxury towels are underrated. Yep. Feel. If everyone's on the same page, why is that not the standard? Yes. Okay, so I'm just being extra convinced that Fen and contrast are next up on the list. SMC, I don't know why, but yeah, there's not such a strong pull for me to go there. Let me add a little bit of that bluey. Hey Tim, good to see you. How are you? How's your painting? I've deactivated the Discord bling bling sounds because I felt I was too distracted. So I haven't seen any paint jobs recently, which doesn't mean I'm not interested. I just try to concentrate on the painting a little bit more at the moment. SMC guys were at Contrast this year. I think they're at Contrast every time, aren't they? I feel like all the show people are always at the other shows. Extra large blankets are rare because everyone's saving up for good vacation on Hawaii. I feel like this is becoming the anti-Hawaii stream. I've actually, maybe some from the community remember, I've painted a Rogel Dawn tank where some Creek dudes were sitting on the tank that tank was actually going to Hawaii. That tank is the real MVP. That tank was a commission and is now living the dream on Hawaii. Surfer Rogel Dawn before GTA 6. This was such a weird coincidence that I found this bluish tint into the browns. Show you where I'm trying to go. Like, this is one of the finished models that I did yesterday. And there you can see, like, I like to push it sometimes a little bit more into the blues and sometimes a little bit more into the browns. This one's got very blue. There's a lot of purple in here too. But if there's just like a small element, like up here, I'm slowly pushing the blues in here, so you can see there's a little bit of partnership going on between these two now. Oh, you like the Lictor? Yeah, I think the sculpt alone is just such a win. I have a second one in the pipelines. And I changed the bases from the Death Leaper, which is always standing on the same base, and I changed the two bases and it just made such a huge difference. It was really, really nice. Reporting, I've done a bust I bought from Contrast. It's getting unusual attention on IG. Nice. I'll go and check it later. Or feel free to send it to me. Maybe I've already seen it. You're using the underpainting way less than I was expecting. Yeah, okay. Where was I? Oh, here. I'm missing a color on my palette. I have no idea how social media works. Well, I wish I knew less. When I started, I kind of told myself, if you want this to work, it's probably smart to inform yourself a little bit about that shitty platform. But yeah, I don't like it. I don't like it. I'm just a busy boy. I'm just doing a lot, and I think that's what the algorithm liked in the last years. But I have sometimes like projects where I've spent hundreds of hours on. People don't like it, or the app doesn't like it. I just try to not care and think about it. I'm very happy that the connection with Patreon is kind of working. Otherwise, it would be just crazy working hours. So yeah, it's like it has some positive sides. I wouldn't be able to do it full time without social media, I have to say. But at the same time, it's just, I don't think artists should be doing social media. It's just so counterintuitive. You think about stuff that you shouldn't be thinking about instead of painting. That's the short summary. What's the overall impression? I feel like it could be a little bit more in the last couple. Pew pew pew. It's toenails, blue toenails. And also this thing kind of transforms into these, so I want to pull these a little bit closer together color-wise. Now they're more of a unit. Boop, 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 boop. There we go. This thing could also be in the pale skin a little bit more. Oh, those are such fantastic models. Sometimes there's a little bit more Tyranid in there. Sometimes there's a little bit more human. They're really cool. And there's even a character model from these abominations. He got an extra large base. It's hard to not do it if your income kind of depends on it. Yeah, but I still believe that in 5 years the platform will not exist any longer. I hope and I believe so. I think it's so sad that mostly if you want to make a living painting figures, that you're really doing is editing video and managing social media. Oh, this is so true. This is so true. I'm cutting so many videos, dude. I'm sitting more in front of my computer instead of painting minis since I switched to full-time. Before, like my big dioramas, I was doing this without recording it. I was just doing it while I was sitting in home office, and I should have been working on my other job. But yeah, now I basically record everything and need to cut everything, and sometimes it just flops and no one sees it, or it's just not interesting or whatever. It's tough. So I have big respect for everyone who actually has the endurance to do it without social media or just pull through. Yeah, it's a little bit weird. It's a little bit asymmetric to how in other industries it usually goes. But yeah, there's a funny. I had an interesting talk with a good friend of mine because he said. I think we talked about this in the stream before. He said that every job has basically a second side to it, or you actually do a second different job. And he was using the example of someone who has studied sports and is now working in a gym, and you could think that he is doing like gym stuff and workout routine, physical exercise, blah blah blah. But actually, the way he's earning money, he or she is earning money, is by selling contracts. So he's actually a seller. He has to sell contracts. He has to go to people, go like, yeah, we are the best gym around. Please sign here. So he's actually more of a selling person, like a car seller, than actually a sports person. And he made this example, and I think it was brilliant, and he was absolutely right. And when you look at most jobs very closely, it's very true for many different jobs, that every job has a second level to it. He has 2 extra large bases and a big soda. Yeah, probably. Let me go and get the character model. Look at that. Isn't that a cool box? Box full of minis, all assembled and ready to go. Let me have a look. Where's the character model? There he is. Because the character model has one of the cute little babies next to it. Look at him. Look at that model! Isn't that cool? I think this is absolutely fantastic. He is in such a good pose. He's just like hiding behind the knee. I think this is just like Hodor. Yeah, this is basically a mini diorama as a miniature. I'm a huge fan. I'm a huge fan of this. All the little Genestealers are so good. I was talking to Ben Comets. On average, he spends more time producing a video, painting, recording, editing than the collective total watch time. Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. Oof. Yeah, YouTube. I mean, YouTube is a whole different game. Like, I still don't. I have no idea how YouTube works. Because producing a YouTube video is just so much work and so much effort. And some people manage to pump out like 2 videos a week. That's just a huge mystery to me. I'm happy if I manage to get 1 in a month. Hi Volker, welcome to the stream. Good to see you here. He's actually got really positive view of it. To him, the patrons pay him slowly build a huge library of material that he can later be leveraged in all kinds of way. Yeah, I mean Ben in general, I think he has such a fantastic way of approaching everything. He's just nice to be around. I wanted to go to his workshop in Switzerland that Volker, who just came into the stream, attended. But life was getting in my way and I couldn't attend. But yeah, I was getting along with Ben really well in Monte too. He's just nice. He's a nice human. I like him. Okay. Speaking of Patreon, there's the link. The bot is listening. Big Brother's watching you. Oh, I love organic material like rocks. Yeah, I agree. Ben has a very special vibe to him. That's just super nice to be around. It was so funny when I actually met Ben for real for the first time. I was walking walking through the cabinets at Golden Demon 24. It was my first Golden Demon, and I saw him, and I looked at him and was like, I know you from somewhere. And I, out of nowhere, the whole painting Buddha thing popped back into my mind, and he was like, oh, that's a long time ago. But I remember watching videos of Ben painting, and back in the day, I was just like, I just started painting, and it was complete witchcraft to me what was going on in those videos. Like, if you skipped like 5 minutes and just went forward, it was just like, whoa, how did he get there? I enjoyed those videos a lot. So we talked about painting Buddha a little bit during that Golden Demon. Tua, by the way, how is your library Titan going? I'm still so excited about that project. It's such a cool idea. And Studio 489, welcome to the stream. And it's still like that. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I wasn't trying to push that downwards. Let's get some rust in here. Any more metallics? Nope. A skin model. Oh, actually down here. Right, let's use some verdigris on that. I'm nearly there. You think you can finish it for Monte? I remember you talking about it, showing me all the individual books and that. I've been thinking about that ever since. It's one of those things I'd love to see. Stuff that, everything that's not out of the box, I just have huge, a huge weak spot for. You're not planning a deadline? I envy you to think like that. I'm very bad at those type of things. I'm very good at stressing myself. I'm always like, oh, it would be so cool to have it ready. Oh, and then also this project would be so nice. And then I could also do this and that. And at the end, I don't get any of them ready, and I just stress myself. This year I will be taking it a lot slower when it comes to competitions. I'm very happy to focus on the commissions right now, and sometimes on the weekends I spend some extra hours on my private projects that I will then bring to Monte and to Golden Demon. But I will not build any dioramas just for the sake of time. And I made my peace with that. Very, very happy with that decision. It's been a long journey of discovery. Yeah, I can imagine. I can already feel like after, for me, I'm a bloody beginner. I just started, and I can already tell how much changed up here within a year. But still a lot to learn, and how to balance time. Basically, it's all about how to balance your time. Your day's got 24 hours. My biggest learning was I also need to take breaks. I can't just work all the time. I had really big troubles sleeping sometimes, and just relaxing, and I was just constantly thinking about miniatures. I mean, I love this, and now I can spend a lot of time on it, but it's definitely not healthy to do nothing else. And when I like something, I like to do it very, very extensive. So yeah, now I'm on my little journey of trying to meet some more friends, doing some different stuff, playing a little bit of Magic again, all those type of things. Where's my other brush? There you go. I did Golden Demon years ago, and it was such a strain that I only went every 2 years. Just built so my work, anticipation, and ambition, no matter what, how I went, I would always crash after each of them. Yeah, I can totally feel that. I think it's a very special contest, and I think it's actually good that they have this not open system, because it makes it very special for the people who attend. If they would make an open system, it would definitely have the benefit of being a little bit more loose. But I think I think it's cool that it's such a prestige thing. And I just realized after the last year, like, I have to make such a big effort. I have to paint in a very unnatural way. Well, to me, unnatural, because I love doing this kind of sloppy bloop bloop bloop, quick and dirty speed painting with more harsh contrasts. I like to think about the color schemes and how I actually enjoy painting armies or bigger projects like little groups. But this whole Golden Demon thing of painting without mistakes and making it perfect with a tiny brush, it's just not my cup of tea. So I usually enjoy the first 60%, and then the last 40% of just crazy detailing is just, I just don't enjoy it. So why should I spend time on stuff that I don't enjoy? And at the same time, I think it's a really good exercise to also train that. I mean, I'm curious to improve and paint stuff in a different way. So I see Golden Demon now more of a, I challenge myself and try to paint in a different style, but it's just like I'm zero expectations. Last year I also I also had zero expectations, and then in the week before going there I was like, phew, I spend 300 hours on this project, I spend 200 hours on this project. So in total it was like a lot of hours, and then I think it's very human that suddenly some expectations rise up, or some this weird little voice in your head goes like, oh, but maybe. and that's really dangerous, because then there are just like other people's putting like 600 hours into a single project, and their painting style is much more, let's say, Golden Demon esque. So yeah, I had this for myself after the last one, and now I'm actually really looking forward to it again, trying to bring something that's to the best painting that I can, but at the same time not going crazy about it, and just spending a little bit more time on some loose projects like this Maschinenkrieger thing. This is the perfect project for me, because I will not be able to enter it into Golden Demon. It's not a Golden Demon kit. It's not a Games Workshop kit. Problem solved. Hey, Strength and Honor! Welcome to the stream. Are you in the climbing gym once again? Over time I realized that what I really want is the joy of the moment. That's very wise. Winning feels great and the affirmation is great, but it's such a short timing. Yep. Excitement for winning is maybe an hour. Yep. And the big projects are so much longer in the end. The only thing that I can really control is the joy of the work itself. I mean, that's wonderful if it truly is that way. And I was saying the exact same thing last year, and then it still happened. Like, I still started to have these feelings at the show. I think it's very human. So if you actually manage to get to that point, that's fantastic. I think that just like people, like the genre of Golden Demon, I think just suits certain painters more than others. That's maybe one of the little summaries also that I have for the shows. And there are some people that only go to Golden Demon and they just really don't like the vibe of Monte, because it feels... I hear a lot of people who enjoy Golden Demon style painting and this perfect thing going like, oh, it's too artistic. I heard that a lot. I think that's very interesting. Good evening, Heroic Brush. Welcome to the stream. And Joe Diamond, 92. Special welcome to the stream, since you're a first-time chatter. First-time chatters get a special welcome. So I work on projects while I enjoy them. When I no longer feel passionate, it goes into a box and then into a shelf. I have hundreds of hours of work sitting in boxes, but to me those are just not all a waste of time. It's just I enjoyed every last one of them. That's a really nice way of seeing it. I feel like you're the painting Buddha. It's a really nice attitude. For me, I have to admit, I'll be very open. The projects in the shelf, I also have them, but they stress me a little bit. I like the idea of doing one project and then going to the next one, finishing them. But I realize that's not how it works. I'm very enthusiastic in the very first couple of minutes. Like I enjoy ordering the boxes, I enjoy putting the minis together, I enjoy planning, I enjoy the conversions. Just like with the Machine Krieger thing, just going like, ooh, and then you could place this over there, then this goes there. Just like the creative process of it. And then usually I get lazy when it comes to the exact painting. And at the same time, sometimes I try to do projects in, let's say, a weekend, like 10 hours of painting, something like that. And for example, the Lionel project, this one that's in the box just around the corner. I mean, I'm happy. I'm happy that it exists. I'm happy that this exists now, but at the same time, there are so many things that I would like to change, and just I wish I would have spent a little bit more time on it. So now this project has a really weird gut feeling, because I like the overall look, I like the story, I like the things, but when I zoom in, there's just a lot of dirtiness going on. I don't know. I wish there would be a little bit more depth to it. So yeah, there are always these two sides. Painting helps with my gross motor skills. Basically, my wrists doesn't work properly, starting from a blob, and now it takes me hours with detail, but I still love it. That's a really refreshing info. Thanks for sharing. Whatever it is, I think it's just for all of us. We're all just trying to find the best of the moment. Like this little part. For some it's the building, for some it's the painting, for some it's the rough starting from a blob. Whatever it is. Where's my yellow paint? Paint some yellow on the eyes. A little bit more. I want to push the blue on the back a little bit more. Get a little bit brighter. What I strive to, I'm getting better and better, but ambition of course always sneaks in a little bit. Well, I'm happy to hear you're a little bit human still. Saying I don't care about winning would be a huge lie, but losing strings way less when I know I already achieved what I could set out to do. Just getting joyful hours. Yep. Yeah, that's I think there's no shame in admitting. Obviously, winning something is nice and getting a little bit of recognition. But that's why I have to say these shows are so nice, because people actually come to you and say, oh, I like this part, or I saw this and I really liked it, or whatever. So people actually connect with the stuff that you created. So I think that's a price in itself already. The Ami Painter Gang calls me the Painting Yoda. I like that. Yeah, Painting Buddha is already taken, so let's stick to the Painting Yoda. I'll do a little bit. Hey, Auditore, welcome to the stream. Welcome in. Once again, we're with the Genestealers. I'll do the detail work tomorrow because I need to lean in like this again and no one will see stuff. I'll stick to the very rough brush strokes. Yeah, I agree. I connect to your tank diorama to this day. Thanks, Tim. Much appreciated. I love hearing that. I still like the tank diorama is still something for me that I'm just like, ugh. Only weird feelings with that project. I enjoyed painting the tank, but I felt like the whole forest scene should have been for a different project. Let's put it that way. But I'll continue painting vehicles, that's for sure. Auditore got the Wookiee sound. There you go. I'm really curious, did anyone hear the Thomas the Tank Engine sound? I think it needs to be one of the weird Twitch things like Hype Train or whatever they are called. Can someone quickly unfollow and follow again? Because I think it also should work for new followers. I'd love to see if it worked. Apparently it's not working, but also I'm very bad with those technical kind of things. Let's put a little bit of a white frame in here. Whoop. And maybe some red action signs. First time I ever had a streamer asking for please unfollow me. Well, it's getting a little bit dark, huh? It's always when the sun is going out outside. It's still like that. Should be a little bit better. And I will start to actually pump up the contrasts up here a little bit more. And then I'll do the detailed stuff tomorrow, because I like to do the rough stuff in the stream. So you can actually see that something's changing, and for me it's much easier to paint that way under the camera. And I can continue talking. If I do the detailed stuff, I always tend to stop talking. Okay, so there was no sound appearing of Thomas the Tank Engine for a new follow. Huh. I will have to look into the details again. It's such a good sound. It's so good. All right. What are your projects at the moment, peeps? What's everyone painting at the moment? Is anyone excited for Armageddon? Like I'm actually excited for the orcs. I really want to paint and develop a scheme for an entire Orc army. But the Space Marines, meh. Vespeden. Maybe Twitch doesn't register if the new following happens too quickly. Yeah, maybe. One thing that helped my competition mindset too, I want my pieces to resonate with 10 people. Ooh, if 10 people see it and connect in some way, then the piece has been successful. That's an interesting goal to set yourself. You definitely had one person that extremely connected with your walking library last year. I mean, I know it's an older piece, but I saw it for the first time in person. Finished a Deathwing mini and now considering all the ways I could do it differently. Ooh, nice. The Weird Boy. Yeah, the Weird Boy is really cool. But the thing that I'm mostly looking forward to when starting a new project is like testing some weird color schemes, testing some colors out, hopping between tones, painting the same model in 3 different ways, and then choosing for one scheme. That moment, that process, is something that I'd love to try with the orcs. I'd love to do some mushroom orcs. I think I haven't showed you yet. Let me show you. I've prepared something. Whoop. So maybe you've seen this little study, which I really enjoyed doing. It's like an orc skin study, and then maybe you saw I already posted this one on the weekend. So this is one of the schemes that I would like to jump into with like little mushrooms on his back. So a little bit more of a like a scavenger, and really go into a full brass scheme. So like 0 rust and only verdigris. So this one was a really cool project, and the one I haven't showed yet, I'm just cutting a video for it, is this one. So he's quite similar with the orc scheme, with the mushroom scheme, but this time like in a half cruel boy. So this is a kit bash with a little bit of a cruel boy, and then mushrooms on the back. He's like more of a wanderer orc, a little bit more peaceful, more of an observing pose. I really like this one. This was like a one-day project on last weekend or something like that. So yeah, this was my little exploration for the new box. And now as a next thing, when I get my hands on the new box, I would love to explore a little bit more into the tones down there. Yeah, we'll see. I'm excited about it to test and try. It's also one of the reasons I sometimes bring along older projects to let people see it properly. Yeah, it's always different seeing something in real life. 100%. But I remember when I saw it for the first time on a picture online, it just... I mean, I'm not sure if we talked about this, but in my old job, I was a product designer, so I was doing a lot of sketching. And when I saw it for the first time, the style of your sketches on the backdrop is exactly how I loved to illustrate. That's why it was immediately love on first sight. There's quite a lot of influences that haven't gotten the Armageddon box either. Yeah, they had big troubles, I think. Being frustrated with Games Workshop. Yeah, this box was crazy. They asked weeks ago, and I think the shops had the box before the people could actually promote it. But yeah, I don't really care if it's coming. I'm grateful to get the boxes. if it's not coming, I already have some little experiments on the other models, and I expect people to be able to do a little bit of transfer work to put this on an 11th edition model or on a old orc. It doesn't really matter. Okay, I'm a little bit sick of this model. Let's get him out of here and do the details tomorrow. I'm a fan of starting fresh. So let's do this guy too. Same approach. My box comes on the 20th, but I'm not at home because of you. Are we seeing each other in a workshop? I think on the 20th, it's in Huss, in Munich, right? No, it's in Erfurt. We're seeing each other in Erfurt, right? Oh, time is flying by. It's really not much longer, huh? This model's completely different. There's a lot less stuff going on in the back. Oh, these first couple of colors touching the model is just a religious experience. Moin, Servus. Zwecks Büro kann ich dir am Wochenende Fotos senden. Yes, sehr gerne. I also find that more people get the same box, the less impact it gives. When everyone gives their grandmother's painters the Creek-mounted Commander Adventure Book, is just yet another Creek guy. I have to admit, the Creek models, I have a soft spot for them. I didn't get the Creek box back in the day. Oh, I actually got the Commando. The Commando, they sent me the Commando, but I just really like those. I already did a big project on the old Forge World models, and back in the day, I actually called, oh, this is going to be one of the next things they are going to re-release with the Riders, and I was I was like, oh, I told you. So I felt really hyped about that box. I never had that feeling of, ooh, yet another Creek guy. But for me, it was a little bit... whenever it's a box and models that I'm not really interested in, I get tired of those rather fast. So I understand. For me, the pace is just a little bit too crazy. I would like to... Like the Eldar Raiders, the Corsairs, I would have loved to spend a little bit more time on those. Maybe convert some of them. I'd like to do a Ranger squad. I'm a huge fan of the hoodie elders with snipers. I like that. The vibe that's going on over there. But that was just like next. Not a big fan of the pace. But yeah, I mean, if it's a release that people just don't connect to, it's a company, they have to fulfill their money goals, it's capitalism, they have to grow X% every year, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, they found a way to print money, so they're gonna do it. Just the same with Wizards of the Coast. They are literally printing money. Ich habe mir die Box zum Geburtstag selber geschenkt. Nice. I have to bounce. Have a wonderful day and evening. Good to see you around. We should talk about that goblin very soon. I'm excited about that. I'm so sad we didn't get the Vostroyans with the Armageddon wave, but clearly the Creek being so recent time isn't ripe for a new set of Imperial Guard. Yeah, fair. I think the community is really eager to see that. But yeah, I think you analyzed it absolutely correct. It's just a matter of how they cycle the factions, and I wanted to paint some orcs for a long time because I've painted Lord of the Rings all my life, and just a couple of years ago started with Warhammer 40k. So there's so many factions that I still never laid hands on, and I'm basically excited about many different factions and models. And every new release is a good excuse for me to jump into a new faction. But at the moment, I'm super hyped about Genestealers and Tyranids. At least Games Workshop paid most of their employees a decent bonus. Wizards of the Coast makes Games Workshop look good. Oh, Thousand Suns. As you know, I love Thousand Suns lore, and I hate the models. I think they're just silly. It's the old Chaos problem, in my opinion. It's just like too many details and just silly, impractical helmets that just doesn't work for me. But generally speaking, I would love to see some cool Thousand Suns. Oop, this is too much. Need a little bit of red in here. There we go. That's a nicer tone. My water is empty. Feeling a little bit thirsty now. But this is too much fun right now. This is the step I like most. Getting the rough colors in here. Jumping around. And that little airbrush sketch is my light map, guiding me very loosely to stick to some of the highlights. And since I'm painting so thin, it's like an aquarelle painting. I'm painting around the highlights. It's like a reverse highlighting, leaving some of the bright parts shine through. Eventually, I'm making a sculpting building heavy Tyranid army. I think it's a newest style of the Gaunts, Lepers, Lictors, and a bunch of the newer models. It's just fantastic. Yeah. It's more organic and Giga-ish than the older, more controlled designs. I absolutely agree. There are so many... Everything that's... like the... I think they're called Van Ryan Lepers or something like that. Fantastic. And also the Reveners, like these models. I mean, just like this layering, those are really cool sculpts and fantastic to paint. There's a lot of good stuff in the Tyranid section going on. I'm painting them right now. Yeah, let's go. Yeah, during last week's stream, I painted one of those models. I want to record one of them. I want to record the coolest sculpt so that I have a little bit of process documentation for either Patreon or YouTube. And then once that's recorded, I might do another one in the stream. But yeah, I have a really interesting project about the Tyranids in the back of my head. Um, I've been collecting, and I might start, or in my head I would like to do it after Golden Demon, like start building it now, but paint it in all patience after Golden Demon before Monte, because there's like 1 month in between, and I don't want it to be like competition high-end finish, but I really like the concept and the idea. So at the moment my plan would be to bring it to Monte, the Tyranid project that I have in my head. I've been collecting. Yes, guilty. Actually, I have been collecting in a cool way, because members of the community were like, "Ooh, what Tyranid project?" And some people actually donated their old models. So I think it was a really generous way of collecting. I'm very grateful for that. I could, like, I wanted to build a huge diorama with um, with like a horde, and I still want to do it, but I won't be able to finish it for this year. I told myself no huge dioramas this year. Just time-wise, I've been struggling too much. But that project is still in the back of my head. One day. Niels, from you I have a lot of Tyranids, like also the old Genestealer models. There we go. Hi. Sustainable, almost like cleaning plastic from the oceans. Yes, basically. If you never throw them away, it's very sustainable. Except for the sprues. That's obviously shit. $150 waren. Yeah, it's been a lot. I'm completely out of frame. I really like this orange tint that I have on my brush right now. Whoop. I use spruce to make other items. That's really nice. Yeah, I've seen so many cool projects of people building like the skeleton of spaceships with the old sprues, or like dry brush palettes, that kind of stuff. But I'm definitely guilty of throwing away old sprues, just because if I'm doing commissions and there's just like one huge project after the next one, there's just too much plastic for me to handle. I'll be very honest about that. But every time it feels very wrong, because it's just so much plastic. Some OGs in the Japanese Gundam stores give small refund when you bring sprues back to the store. They send them back to the factory and they reuse the plastic. I like the thought of that. The thing is, remelting plastic, they usually lose some of their properties. So a lot of companies do that as a type of greenwashing. Like, it's nice when you say you do that, but I've worked in that industry, and I've also worked a little bit with plastics as material, and usually the recycled ones are only used for parts where there is no physical tear. But yes, the possibility is there. But I could imagine that I'm no expert on ink injection on plastic kits, but I could imagine that the precision is still given and they just lose stability, which is not that important on minis, right? Don't throw them away. You can do so much good things with the sprues. All right. I'd still love to build like a huge spaceship with it. I have so many, like I never throw away bits. Like, I have a huge collection of bits because I can't throw away leftover bits. And my biggest commission so far was a huge Tau project. And from that, I still have so many bits left over that one day I want to build a huge Tau battlesuit, whatever, just with the leftover bits. That's definitely on the to-do list. In the fantasy land of I have too much time, next to my other 77 projects. This is such a cool sculpt. It's just very different to the other model. There's not so much mutation going on. But that does not make him less cool. Where's the other guy? There he is. He's way more mutated. Just looking at the stuff that's going on the back. How do you like painting the Genestealers compared to previous projects? Oh, whole different level. I realized my biggest aha moment last year was I don't like painting armor. Oh yeah. Ben just said look out of the window because he's my neighbor. There's some nice light. Usually the camera doesn't fix it. So yeah, I don't like painting armor, and the Genestealers are just... cloth and skin, which is both my favorite thing to paint. Look at that! Isn't that amazing? Thanks for telling me, Ben. I was too focused. I didn't realize there's a really nice sunset going on. You are right. So yeah, the Genestealers have been absolutely fantastic so far. And I like the amount of models. It's a big project, but it's not 7,000 points of Space Marines. I think I will stick to the 2,000 to 3,000 max. And I will only do one big project per year. Thanks goes out to the Dobby. That's right. Dobby for the rescue. Yeah, man, you have no idea how happy I was when you said, let's do Genestealers. Still, Ben, you summed it up so nicely. Such a weird army where you can play a lictor and tanks in the same project. Wicked. Okay. Nice. Cool, cool, cool. I like it. Let's do some of this bluish brown back parts. These ones. And there's a little bit of that going on his feet. Nails. What else? The teeth. I've been playing a little bit of Ultimate Frisbee yesterday. After a long time. Finally the summer season is starting again. Oh, it was such a good session. It's my favorite thing. Playing some Ultimate Frisbee on Mondays. Does anyone know that? Is that a thing anywhere? I know that it's big in the US and in Canada. And the Aussies like to play it. But besides that, I feel like no one knows it. In particular, in Germany, no one knows it. Pretty awesome to have both in the same army. Yep, I absolutely agree. It's just a win. Very unique army design. Is it true that no one plays Genestealers because they're really hard to play in the game? Like, I don't play, so I have no idea. Where's my... Where's my steel? That's a big part of it, alright. Yeah, they seem to be fairly complex, huh? Very strategic. Alright. Like they respawn all the time, right? And you probably have to handle a lot of minis, which makes it usually harder to play. Oh yeah, they're definitely cool. I heard from someone who's playing tournaments that if they see that they are running up against Genestealers, it's like 50-50 that your enemy might just give up because no one knows how to play against them. Not sure if that's just a great rumor engine or actually true. Oh, by the way, I made some progress on the goblins. Also for you, Niels. um, I moved on to the second model of that project. And I've been stuck on the first one forever. So I will now paint it with a different pace and reduce the quality a little bit because otherwise I will never get finished. Took me like 6 months in my current pace with all the projects lining up to paint one goblin, and it's a squad of 5, so I need a different pace. But let me go and get it. I'm very happy with the final result. You can bring back miniatures with Regenesis Point. Icon bearers can bring back units. Can be a bit painted. Don't face it. All right, yeah. I've built a lot of the banner, like the icon peeps. I think every unit has one, right? Niels, here comes the OSL party of the Goblin. Look at that. Bam! Oh, more fire is not possible. He's a very, very lighting up Goblin, but this has been a lot of hours. This was like all my free time I spent on this guy. But I'm also happy with it, with the swirling eyes. It's just it's such a cool sculpt. But yeah, this was just driving me crazy with the with the amount of time that has been going into this guy. But maybe you can see what my favorite detail, maybe you can tell. Panda. Welcome to the stream. Panda is a good friend of mine from my hometown. Did you see Roman's fire miniature from today's social media? Yes, I did. It's from a kit that I also have at home. Can you see the little points? This is my favorite detail. There's some little sparks coming up. That's my favorite detail. And then it's slowly transitioning into some pinks. It's not as prominent as originally planned, since there's another light source coming from here. But yeah, this is the Goblin project that I hope to finish for Golden Demon. And Roman's Mini, I think I have it here. Ben almost assembled it today. It's from this kit, if I'm not mistaken. I'm a huge fan of these type of Inquisition, Imperial, human type of models. So when this kit came, I immediately bought it. It's just a really cool box. And if I'm not mistaken, this is the one, or there was some kind of flamer. I think maybe it was a kit bash, but it looked like a little bit like this pose. Or maybe this one, right? That's the one you're referring to, huh? And I've actually visited Roman some weeks ago. Before Jason's workshop, we spent one day together painting, which was really nice. Because he's super close. He just lives like 40 minutes around the corner in the next city. So it was actually nice. It was my first time being in his studio. He's very busy, I'm very busy, but it was nice to actually finally meet up and paint together. And he noticed how I was staring at his Cadian frame diorama piece a lot, and he noticed, and he was so nice to actually send me a print afterwards. That was a really nice surprise. Super nice gesture. I wish I had the money to just buy it, because I know it's for sale. It is for sale, but I don't have 4K burning a hole in my pocket. But he was actually telling some fun stories from other customers. I wish I could have one myself. Maybe one day. Okay. Pyro. the Next guy from my hometown. They're rating the stream today, you guys. Shut up. Shut up. Ich weiß, bisschen früh, aber womit kann ich dich dieses Jahr brechen? Das Geburtstagsgeschenk muss was Spezielles sein. Ich muss erstmal das von letztem Jahr abarbeiten. Du hast schon mehr gemacht als überhaupt nötig. Dieses Jahr zum Geburtstag werde ich mit dem Goblin-Projekt mal fertig. Are you guys actually rating the stream because you want to play some computer games with me? Is this your friendly message? Hey Lucas, stop streaming and play some HOTS with us. Because I think that would be cute. I felt like a real grown-up yesterday, closing the game, although everyone else continued playing. Nice. I'd be definitely down to join one round tonight. Would be perfect after the stream. I think on the box art, these models are painted very differently. Like they have, like every single element and the single arms, they have like subtle, different paint schemes on them, right? What game? It's funny because we always make the insider joke that we are the last ones playing the game. Maybe you have heard of HOTS, Heroes of the Storm. It's basically Dota by Blizzard, but no items. And the game is no longer supported and is basically dead. But with a group of friends from my hometown, we kind of never stopped playing. Oh, you know it. Nice. Yeah. So we have one guy who is always plat, and the rest of us is shit. I'm usually the healer. And once in a decade we have a fantastic game where just everything works, and then it's all worth it. Oh, nice. Yeah, you should join us. HOT's not dead. Little skull. Can take forever to match up. Really? We haven't had any issues with that. Hey, Kai. The next one. Okay, the All-Stars, HOTS All-Stars team is now here. It's turning into a hot stream now. I love it. Everyone turning up. Feel humbled. You guys, you pump in your Prime sub. Give me those $5. It's the only way how you are not being kicked out after 5 seconds. Just here to make fun of me. I know exactly how this is going to go. I will go into the Discord and they will just mock me. They're terrible friends. Make it rain with Prime subs if we're playing HOTS on a Chewy Tuesday. Alright, alright. Okay, we have a little skull over there. Add some tongue. some red knuckles. A little bit of orange into the knuckles. Hey, Tim's giving out abos. Thanks a lot. Much appreciated. Oh, can we actually get the hype train started to get the sound now? I still want everyone to get the joy of the Thomas the Tank Engine. Tinting a little bit now. Adding some reds. This is yum. I like it. A little bit more action into the face. But I'll do all the fine detail stuff off camera tomorrow. Ooh, Firmi! Nice to see your name pop up. I haven't heard you in a while. I see you are also in full preparation for the orcs, huh? I think I've seen something today. Just as hyped as I am. Es wundert mich ehrlich gesagt, dass es nicht in die Ritterzeit geworden ist. Ich habe den anscheinend zu oft gebracht. Man, I'm so busy, but so happy to catch up a stream. Nice, yeah, no worries, man. It's good to see you. Are you coming to Spiel? And how's your huge project going with the demon that you sculpted with all the little demons below? I'm also really hyped for those orcs. Spiel needs to be skipped. I can't make it. Ah, damn. Oh yeah, I never got into Hearthstone because I love playing cards, but I like to play cards offline. I also stopped playing Magic online. It doesn't make any sense to me. I like to play it offline with the haptical cards in my hands. But I get it. Like, I think Hearthstone and Magic, there's some parallels. But since I'm so into Magic, there's no need for me to jump into another game that's rather similar. Are you there, and what are you preparing for it? Yes, I'm planning to go. I actually just showed. I'm preparing this guy. I'm preparing the Gooba Palooza as a squad entry. But I'm also not sure if I'm going to finish it. This one took me forever. We'll see. We'll see. I'm not investing as much as last year. I'll just play it chill, see how it goes. At the moment, I'm painting a lot of commissions and doing a lot of content preparations and some Patreon work just to get the machine running and focus on the stuff that actually generates some bucks. And Golden Demon's also a topic of, can I afford it? That's crazy. I mean, it's great marketing since you produce a high quality piece, but at the end of the day, most of it is just a lot of hours that are basically not paid. Speaking from a disgusting business perspective. But yeah, at the moment I enjoy the commissions more, so I do more of those. Have you seen they made a real life port thing with Magic? You basically set up your own table with a phone camera and then you stream. Oh yeah. It's called it's Play Table, right? It's a good solution if you don't have people nearby. I've heard of it, but I've never done it. I have like one good friend who used to live just around the corner, but then he moved to Vienna. And he asked me if we could do this again, but yeah. I mean, I would be willing to try it, but I feel like meeting up friends to play a round of cards is more important to me than to play Magic. So I can't see myself playing this camera Magic on a regular basis. And actually, that's like the only advantage of living in a city is there are plenty of peeps around here to play Magic with. I have like a great group of friends around me here. Like a lot of people I can play Magic with. Speaking of which, isn't that cute? Choco Jumbo. Bills need to be paid. It's not disgusting. You're living the dream, but I guess it's not always easy. I'm not complaining. But my friend, your passion, effort, and talent are so great. Just get it done, paired with a good character and charisma. Stop it! I wish you would come to Spiel. Would be nice to hang out again. Feels like forever. It's been a while. And honestly, I think I'm done for today. I did the skin for these two. They're slightly different, but I'm going to do the details tomorrow morning. And then I have another 2 finished models for the huge project. And I will continue to record a little bit of the next model. This one needs to be cutted. So then there will be a lot of new stuff coming up. This one's such a cool model, huh? Maybe I have the other guy here. Yeah. Those are the other 2 models that I'm really looking forward to paint. Let me zoom out a little bit. So probably you guys also know the Death Leaper. The character Lictor. I think it's also just a fantastic sculpt. I like this a lot. And here is the second Lictor. And for those who know the models, they will notice what I have done here. So usually this is the base of the Death Leaper. So I think like this is the this is how the base usually is. So this foot is up here, and this foot back there is on this little spot over there. So I have swapped the bases, which makes this lictor really characterful. I like how his hand is on one of the pipes. He just holds this, and the different head sculpt, as you can see, like these sculpts are a little bit different. I love that they have both in the same box. This is built from the same box. Isn't that cool? They have two different executions for the arms, two different heads, and a slightly different pose, and it just makes the same model look completely different. I really like that. And then the Death Leaper is more of a surfer on this old pipe. So I'm really looking forward to those models. And obviously the Alpha. This is also a very, very cool sculpt. So everything is assembled. I love that. It's like moving when you move to a new place and all the furniture is in your new house, and now you have to like unpack it, and you can put everything into place. Now like assembly and priming is done. This is the same. I really need to make a well done lictor scene. Oh yeah, with some maybe like some half stealth thing going on. I think these impaling some guardsmen. Yeah, that would be really awesome. These things are just looking so dangerous. I really like that. Oh, speaking of guardsmen. Ah no, I will not spoil the idea. I will build it, and then I can show it. That's much easier. I have too many ideas blobbling up in my head. Where did you get the pipe bases? I think this is a leftover. I have a box full of leftover. It's from Games Workshop. I think it's Necromunda terrain. I have a lot of leftover terrain pieces. Also this part, maybe you can see there's an old Necromunda base. Here there's the circle of the base, and I cut it into square pieces so it actually fits the scene. Yeah, a lot of old Games Workshop terrain on these bases. This is the official base, some of the pipes, but since there's so many pipes going on, I thought it would make sense that this guy is riding a pipe. All right, my dear friends, thanks for joining. This was a lovely stream. I really enjoyed chatting with you guys. Thanks for your questions. Thanks for your interest. Thanks for hanging out. We will be painting next week again. I try to mix up the models every week, so probably next week we will do maybe something a little bit more technical. Maybe one of the buggies. I'll surprise you with something that we haven't been painting before. I'll see you in 5 months, if not before. That would be lovely. I'm very much looking forward to that, to chat and look at the new stuff that you bring. And thanks for joining. It was a pleasure, tour. And also, just the same to all of you, thanks for hanging out. It was fantastic. Captain Jack, are you printing the models? No, Mr. Captain Jack. These are all pretty much original Games Workshop models, assembled and primed. You came to a bad timing. I'm just about to end the stream. I'll find a different channel to raid, and we will hop over into a different stream. Oh. I will call it a night. Good night.